Here we go. Last map of this best of 7 championship on the line. KongDoo, as an organization, never made it this far.
Closest they've ever been.
Few teams have, in fact.
And with the dominance we saw of Lunatic-Hai, even though they weren't crowned champion or the basically the crownless kings, they won it last season. If they win this one, who knows what the boundaries are as to how far this team could go. It's the story of the popular team, the team that has the most fans and that has the most success currently in this sphere, making several second-place wins. And they will be, if they win this, the most accomplished Korean Overwatch team of all time.
And the kind of insane factor there is they are so far from the team that won last year. It is a very different Lunatic-Hai, even if some of the names are the core tenets of the best team in the world. They have evolved. They are so different to the Genji-focused Who Are You comps they used to run. But let's focus on the game ahead of us. Lunatic-Hai opening up. They'll be going triple DPS as well. That is very popular on Numbani point A attack.
All right, yeah, Jae-Hong back over onto that soldier where he's had an immense amount of success so far. Wrapping around the back.
Actually hit by the field deny.
Dangerously low, but murdering could be the first one that falls. In fact, so Ito finding that opening frag here for his squad as they go ahead. Start posturing forward in onto the point. Fisher going low yet again. The bounce grenade not enough to keep him alive. Pillfall, Lucky going swiftly thereafter, and it seems like Lunatic-Hai might just have the initial cap on the first push here on point A.
And this has got to be disheartening for Panthera. They chose this map. It's the triple DPS that's used against them here. The heal deny was good. It hit multiple targets. They wanted to commit in. They wanted to get the picks, perhaps overextending a little bit there. And now Lunatic-Hai with the ult advantage as well as an amazing time bank. 5:35 currently on the clock.
You smell blood in the water, you go for the dive, but Bird Ring going down first meant the rest of his team was out of position. And from there, focus DPS work. Ito just takes out Fisher.
Yet again, Fisher going to be the first one that falls.
That basically
way too
condemns
far forward.
the street space to being a last-second contest for KongDoo Panthera.
So terrifying too when you have this big of a time bank. Could build up so many ults as you push through. Now hold on to this EMP. No, I think the pair for this, no opportunity to use with it, so wants to wait for something better here. But they're just so low on ultimates at the moment. Gets hacked himself actually here. At least they made that out.
Gameplay drop down here by Eska. It's Waka Waka will get taken down. Void going down very shortly after that. They're able to trade one back here onto Ito, but maybe even in the end. It's still going to be Lunatic-Hai trading up 2 for 1 in their advantage, as we do see Rascal dropping that EMP. His death rattle effectively as he dies right after that happens.
Ooh, the chase on the Luffy here could be huge if he gets the pig. It'll be such a long respawn here, but it is going to be protected.
Trying to get this hack, will go ahead and take him out, and that's just going to be a very swift completion on the point B.
I really like what Lunatic-Hai did, that they were not being reactive with the EMP. They used it mid-push towards the street space because you're expecting the last-second contest. You knew that there would be Rascal with EMP, but allowing them to ensure that it would be a trickle, if anything. It ended up being nothing, and now a hilariously large time bank for point C.
Boyd pictured for a moment. This is his first finals. This is his map where he gets his big self-destructs. This is an opportunity. He's got it now, but he's EMP'd.
EMP comes through yet again, but Toby has been taken out first and foremost. Jae-Hong now getting smacked and chased on by Fisher with that primal range. Does go down.
Double.
Does have the doubles. He gets rid of Eska as well. Ito desperately trying to run away.
Pretty ult efficient here, and this is going to be one of many holds they're going to have with this amazing time bank that Lunatic-Hai has.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point where you get your first breath of the map. You finally get to pinch yourself. You're in Game 7 of a final, but there's 5 minutes still remaining on second attack on point C for Lunatic-Hai.
We've seen some pretty crazy stuff here in Apex. This would be one of those things that can almost take the cake. Looking for that pick in onto Jae-Hong. Leads him solo, but the sound barrier comes out from Toby, keeping him alive. In the meantime, Boyd has gone down out of the mech yet again. Lunatic-Hai just able to isolate that target.
Oh, there's a Boyd one coming
off.
in. Or Zumbi, sorry, coming in.
Self-destruct coming out there from Zuma. Not going to find a pick. Now Rascal throws down the EMP, goes dangerously low, is able to snap back and finds the kill in onto Eska.
He also claims the health back, which certainly Eska was pushing out to contest.
It's actually going to be super huge here.
Not done yet though. Pulse Bomb coming out, looking for Miro, doesn't find the stick, barely gets any damage down, but the payload is not moving yet. Void will go ahead and throw down his own self-destruct. Finds Miro right at the end with 3 members dead. Now respawning. Lunatic-Hai will have to regroup. But that was only a minute burned off the
A little
time.
bit surprising we saw Zumba use the self-destruct there. It threw me off guard as he tossed it in the middle of a fight, trying to look for the engage, but there was just nothing to pair with it. That's going to be up here very soon, of course, but still, another tool they don't have for right now.
There's 2 ways to approach a situation like this one. You can start fishing for a very fast capture, or you can take the 6 ult economy approach that I know Monte Cristo, for example, would really advocate. There's advantages on both sides. When you get the fast 2 caps, you think their mentality might be fragile. You jam the ultimate and think you might get the maximum. It doesn't come through, and that means the impressive time bank will just devolve into a good one.
Absolutely.
Ito playing forward, playing with fire, will get burnt. He goes down, as does Eska. So now KongDoo Panthera able to go ahead, identify the DPS members of Lunatic-Hai very swiftly and take them out. Eska has had the CMP for the last 2 pushes that he's made and hasn't been able to use it.
They built up the support ultimates, which can allow Miro to get a primal rage. This is essentially, even though it's not finished yet, the big 6 ultimate push. They built up the self-destruct, used it earlier, they had blood in the water, they saw it. They have the less impressive time bank, but this could be their opportunity.
Ito looking for the pulse pump, misses the stick, so will not be able to take down Fisher or force out that primal rage. Now instead, he's going to be in trouble as Birdring drops down, chasing him down. Will take him out. Birdring is here at the moment. The EMP came through, so he won't be able to get out of there. Will get taken down by Miro. Lunatic-Hai investing quite a bit, including that Transcendence, so trying to get this payload moving, but it hasn't gone anywhere yet. Will pop Void out of the mech, chase down in once to Luffy, takes him out. Finally, Lunatic-Hai can start gaining ground again.
It took about 3 minutes to get meterage. There will be 1 more defense on the foot of the full hold here, for the full complete, sorry. Void side of Lunatic-Hai, as Birdring really wants to find something here.
Look for Jaehong here. Discord's on him. Can't get the pick. Has to recall. Such a wasted opportunity. He wanted it so bad. Holds on to the pulse bomb, though.
Yet again, the sound barrier does come through, and Rascal drops down the EMP, gets rid of a few of those shields as they do pop Zumba out of the mech, but Waka Waka has gone down, and Miro is leaping around with that primal rage ready to go. Eska now pushing it. EMP will throw it down. Finds Luffy right off the bat. Major opening here for Lunatic-Hai, who want to get this completion. They'll trade back onto Eska, but they lose the tank line. Right as the sound barrier comes down for Waka Waka, and the pulse bomb gets rid of the Lucio. Jaehong will fall. Double kill as Toby and Jaehong have both been killed, but that's still going to be it. Lunatic-Hai get the completion on point C with time in the back.
They did it with the greedy attempt first. They burned through a lot of time, but eventually when they had the 6 ultimates, they used them well. And Birdring, ineffective overall, trying to find the backline there. Good protection from Zumba. And now they have this decent time bank, but this is not over by any means. Lunatic-Hai should not celebrate early. They saw blood in the water. It looked like they thought they were going to finish this one with a 5-minute time bank there. That's why they did those aggressive ultimates. They end up losing time for it, but they shouldn't celebrate too early.
And I mean, one of the things that we've seen from KongDoo in this series is that they're much better on the attack rather than the defense.
The dueling, though, we're talking about defense, the ability of Jaehong to duel a Tracer jumping in is second to none. The Ana sleep darts, he's more famous for those, but the Zenyatta discords into kills on Tracers diving him have also been a highlight. That's what bought extra time for Lunatic-Hai to reassess the approach from KongDoo Panthera and the eventual complete. The credit to KongDoo Panthera when they were offered the option of being able to attack, when finally they could get their ults reset, they trimmed about 3.5 to 4 minutes off the time back that could have been catastrophically large for Lunatic-Hai.
And I mean, one of the biggest problems that we saw from Lunatic-Hai at the start of Season 3 was when he first really started preferring the Zenyatta, bringing that out as opposed to the Ana. He would get picked off by the Tracers in the backside of maps, especially on the likes of Control, where there's multiple avenues of approach, but that was his big weakness. But now he is able to go toe-to-toe with them, as you say. He's some of the best in the world in Birdring here.
So we got to address the Torbjorn in the room here. He's going to go ahead and put down the forward turret here to try to build up charge to get that very fast molten core. Will eventually then settle for the high ground defense here. Lunatic-Hai wants to use this as kind of one of those all-ins I talked about to burn time. If you get the first defense, it's amazing. If you fail it, though, I'm going to be favor KongDoo Panthera.
Absolutely. It's all about chipping away at the time that they themselves were not able to maximize, and full holds certainly possible as well when you're talking about a Torbjorn molten core.
They go ahead and they spawn it out. They'll kill the turret. Only 7% was accrued. Just have an exchange of blows here. Waka Waka finishing off Miro with the boot as Eska finds Rascal with the Helix rockets. So operating up onto this high ground, throws out another set of rockets. Helps get rid of Fisher, but not before Jaehong dies. For now, KongDoo Panthera losing out on the 2 members, nearly losing Void out of this mech. Don't have to wait before they can posture up onto the point.
It's going to be now for Toby, of course, a very close to Molten Core, 72% he's holding on to. Guido gets the heals, so just trying to harass to disrupt the advance right now of KongDoo Panthera. If Molten Core goes off, it's just going to eat so much of the time bank, as mentioned here.
And Panthera not going for a dive comp, not having a Genji to really get in the face of the Torbjorn, means that it's very likely this Molten Core will come through. It's very difficult to play around. Just playing the long sight lines as well.
Taking it out here, though, with the Soldier on the high ground. Looks like no protection, no shields there, so the turret's down.
Get rid of it, but they still need much more than that. They're going to get one of the points they have. The first thing getting ready to come through is Zumba. Goes to disrupt up onto the high ground. This Bulldog, so we'll go ahead and fight back as Toby pushes forward, pops the Molten Core. Trying to get something done, but he's just going to go down. Murdering finds the kill.
Panthera pop the Transcendence as well. They're able to chase down. They've got positioning on the point. The Torbjorn turret going down at 90% was so important. They never relay it in great areas, and this will be the capture for KongDoo Panthera.
We'll be able to get this one. They're trying to buy a little bit more time here with Guido, but the cap eventually comes through. A little bit less time than what Lunatic-Hai had, but 4 minutes 45 for the Streets phase is still pretty darn good.
I feel like that's the least amount of satisfaction you can have, but not feel terrible for what you've done in this order. And they bought a decent amount of time, but as you said, if the turret was up when they hit 100%, it's a totally different story. Maybe they buy another minute, a minute and a half, but Lunatic-Hai can't feel terrible about this. They just have to change up their tactics now, go back to the norm. But Panthera, they have the momentum on their side.
They need Guido to get a really big stick to actually buy them time to get ult charge up for Toby, because certainly sound barrier for them is far away.
J-Hong yet again under fire. There's no sound barrier to keep him alive, but he's just going to come up with the kill onto the Tracer, takes him out. Fearlessly pushes in and gets rid of Murdering. Fisher in the meantime, the Primal Rage has gotten rid of Eska. The self-destruct from Jumba gets rid of the Winston. Skills coming in on both sides, but looking a bit favorable to the side of Lunatic-Hai because the payload is not moving in the meantime. Rascal goes down.
This is what they needed to build ults, as you said. This pick on the Toby is nice and all, but it's going to be another ult lost here for Panthera. Lunatic-Hai could be very happy about this exchange.
Their Streets phase was almost flawless. They had Eska on the Sombra to ult midway through, and the last second defenses are so powerful right here on the precipice of point C. Right now, J-Hong and Toby are very close to spot odds. So if that was a delay, which you imagine was the call from the side of Lunatic-Hai, it was successful.
With the disengage comes back, stick comes through, and he's going to go down right as Rascal does as well. J-Hong, go ahead and pop out that Transcendence, want to posture forward in onto the payload and win out this fight with Eska, firing away with Attack Visor. Off of Biotic Field, answering Transcendence from Lumpy. Go ahead and shoot through that damage from the Soldier now. Eska under fire will fall as Birdring scoops up a double kill. They lose out on the Lumpy though. They lose out on the Fisher because Guido answers with his own double. A bit of a Tracer battle. Guido and Birdring go toe-to-toe, but both of them going to have to disengage to stay alive.
Still delaying further, though. 2.8 meters away. There is a sound barrier from KongDoo.
Guido has fallen, and Rascal has Attack Visor ready to go, but knows that he doesn't have to use it. A lot of damage down onto Zumba. Can pop right back out of the back, take down that baby Diva, and likely get the completion here. There we go. We'll be able to do so. 4 minutes on the clock. Minute 48 is what Lunatic-Hai completed with.
So many heroics from Guido, but I really like the positioning from Fisher, the use of the barriers that we haven't really been able to track in this particular series. There was choking up so much of the choke points. They were able to push through. The ults did not mean as much to Lunatic-Hai as I assumed in Murdering.
Oh, not going to find anything. The defense matrix comes through. Nice flip from behind. Or Zumba just consumes up that pulse bomb. This Bulldog in onto Fisher. Dangerously low, forces out the Primal Rage and is able to take down Eska. Rascal, however, had the Attack Visor in the backside, got rid of the Guido, but gets jumped on by Miro.
Self-destruct being held on here to Void. He's his best place for them so far historically as a player. Gets the pick on the Zumba before he can remech here.
The baby Diva, but couldn't find any of the support. Speaking of which, J-Hong now having that Transcendence ready to go again, can posture forward and contest it onto the payload. Let's see, KongDoo Panthera can we kite back a little bit around the corner. Everybody gathered up here. Make sure that Void is topped up with that mech.
They themselves used the same strategy that Lunatic-Hai did, trying to use their small amount of ults for a big advantage. Weren't able to do so.
Okay, Transcendence here. Will we see the Tac Visor with it? It's not ready here for Eska. Last time it was. You can't get value this time.
They're just sitting straight on top of it. We do see that sound barrier coming through, but Void has already been popped out of the mech, so it was a bit too late there from Waka Waka. And now Eska firing away from the backside is able to help take down Rascal. Void will fall in that Baby D before, and this might just be a reset here for KongDoo Panthera. 3 members to 0 as Lunatic-Hai win the fight.
They're going to have the sound barrier here, the Primal Rage, the Tac Visor, such huge ultimates right now. Void doesn't have the self-destruct for the engage that he's been using so often on attack on this map. It's won him many maps in Numbody. Remember, they're 3-0 on this map. He doesn't have that tool. They're going to have to find a way here as they're about to be behind in time.
Our DPS are close to 2 DPS ults, Wolf, so time to make that money.
On the hunt, J-Home's going to be the first one to fall right before Toby can get that sound barrier off. A lot of damage going through in onto Eska as the pulse bomb chews right through that shield, but he is able to retreat back to safety. And in the meantime, it's still KongDoo Panthera who are suffering losses. Void popping into the back, Lumpy going down, and now Rascal will join them in the grave. Buck fighting back, barely saves alive, will finally lose out on that mech, but they still need to get the completion. KongDoo Panthera now with less time in the bank than Lunatic-Hai did on the completion. Will be stopped up yet again as Toby just keeps dashing around. J-Home rejoining the fight, has the Transcendence yet again to buy more time off the bank. And KongDoo Panthera, they have to go to the distance, they have to get this completion.
And critically, they didn't use the Primal Rage. The Transcendence was enough. That's going to be a huge way to stop this when we hit overtime, if we do. For Miro, the run back's taking so much longer for Panthera. They have an ult advantage, and this may be their final push here. On this map, they need completion, or they're out. They won't be champions.
Going into the back, the sound barrier will come down here for KongDoo Panthera, looking for the completion as Rascal goes ahead, throws down the Tac Visor. Nobody saw it! Lunatic-Hai! What are you doing? Completely distracted as KongDoo Panthera gets the completion.
Just really good corralling there of the members on the spawn point, but they just didn't have the realization. They didn't realize the back cap was
They're
real.
dumbfounded, Wolf.
I feel the same way, Zumba. I feel the same exact way. What was going on?
They had their championship flash before their eyes. They thought they had maybe the bull. They thought they could contest there, win the 1v1 fights with the defender's advantage in spawn, but they didn't have vision. They didn't know the members had gotten back so quickly.
I think it was even simpler in that they saw a team fight victory, they chased for it, and they took their eyes off the prize. The prize is the Season 3 championship, symbolized by the Payload, and the Payload means that we have a very, very competitive now run to go.
Now imagine if this is how you lose your back-to-back championship, the weight that will carry for Lunatic-Hai. Absolutely soul-crushing if that's why this ends.
Let's see if Toby can get the turret up this time with the molten core that he was unsuccessful to have last time. It went down at 99%. He was so close to building so much of a larger time bank that his opponents are burning that time of Panthera. Failed, but he's willing to do it again. Lunatic-Hai is going to stick with the plan. The championship lives on the line.
The aftershocks of a loss here to 2 overtime control maps and then a evacuation of the Payload like that are the sort of things that break morale in a team permanently, not just a single title. So they're going to have to try keep to one side. KongDoo does have the smaller time bank, so they will attack first.
And they may expect the turret. There's Rascal on this dive Genji here. They're going to go down and try to bust it up first. They're on top of it. Protection comes down for Zumba, but they do lose the turret regardless.
They will finish it off, but Rascal goes low, gets healed back up with a leap in from Nero. Will take him down at the end. As Luffy will also fall. They trade one in onto Jae-Hong. And they need much more than that. They get Nero, making it a 2 for 2, but can they get in for the cap?
Close call.
The answer is no.
Really smart positioning, putting the turret down, diving onto it as the Torbjorn and the Soldier, while on the high ground on the other side. Choosing between 2 bad options for KongDoo Panthera as Birdring look for some heroics.
That's it. 45% only on this. He is going to replace the turret. The sleep on the Fisher was so important that last fight. He's getting closer to the Molten Core. I'm not sure he's going to have it. Taken out here again now by Rascal. Can't hold on to it.
And KongDoo kind of have to just stand on the point and try to get percentages. Completing the high ground when you're only 7 seconds away, 5 now.
They are here to tag this and starts ticking upward, getting as much as they possibly can. Time will start going ahead and dropping. Fisher's going to be the first one to fall, but Rascal goes in, gets Jae-Hong, but he dies. Birdring going down shortly thereafter as Toby finds the kill. No DPS, almost nobody alive for KongDoo Panthera, and that will be it. They don't even get a single tick.
I love how Lunatic-Hai played that defense. So many false choices. Never was diving the Ana or the Torbjorn turret or the Soldier correct, because they were basically in a triangle, and whenever you dived one, the sight lines for the Soldier were perfect. The sight lines for the Molten Core to come up were perfect. Very nice stuff from Lunatic-Hai. Great control, and now it's just a single tick of the point for that championship.
Yeah, they killed the turret several times there, but they were never able to kill Toby himself. The sleep onto Fisher got them the pick, then they had the late respawn there, and now as we go into this defense here for Panthera, the question is, what are they going to run?
And now my question is, was it a caster curse or a caster blessing that, you know, we're a minute 48 away from another control?
I was just about to say, will lightning strike 3 times tonight here? Haven't had any rain, but there's certainly a lot of thunder in the game.
Oh, for sure. So Panthera, they don't want to run the Torbjorn. They don't want to run anything unusual here. It's going to be Luffy not even flexing onto the soldier that we see him do so many times on attack on this map. Wants to run the Ana, and it's going to be Lunatic-Hai, Eska on that Sombra. Panthera has, for the most part in this series, tried to go toe-to-toe on it when it mattered, but in this one, they're not willing to. They want to use the soldier. He's had more success taking the high ground, which is defined some of these defenses. We look back to Volskaya, for example. This could be how they win it.
4.5 hours of Overwatch will be decided, most likely in the next 2 minutes.
Here we go. Lunatic-Hai on the assault. Ito already taking quite a bit of damage, dashes over, gets himself healed back up. KongDoo Panthera have to play this one perfectly to try to force the tie break. Still going forward, looking for Miro. He'll go low, drops down to the low ground, keeps himself safe, put back over onto the point. The back cap is coming through yet again. Waka Waka will join in to try to delay this one. As the rest of the team figures out what's going on, they will stop this for the moment. Cannot step off. Finding Toby, finding that kill was very crucial for Luffy, and that's going to stop Lunatic-Hai's assault for the moment.
Eska's about to have that EMP. It's going to be very critical. It could gain him that first tick point. They're able to make it happen. Looking out for a perfect angle here. It's going to go ahead and cloak up and run in, but wisely, Panthera does split. They don't fall for this.
He comes down, Eska popping that one out, gets the hack in onto Void as well, and he's going to get popped out of the back very swiftly. Waka Waka and Luffy both going down. No supports available for the side of KongDoo Panthera. They'll lose out on the Fisher as well. There's no tanks. It's just Rascal and Birdring against the world. Some of the best DPS that we have, but they will die, and that's going to be it. Lunatic-Hai twice in a row, back-to-back championships. They will take it all the way to Game 7. They close it out in the end. And KongDoo Panthera, despite their best efforts, will find themselves in second place.
The uncrowned kings got their crown last season, but they come back, they back it up, and they start a dynasty in Korean Overwatch. KongDoo Panthera so close, but lightning does strike twice. Every time it goes to 7 games, but Lunatic-Hai just about grind the victory over KongDoo Panthera.
And before this moment, you might have been able to make the argument that Lunatic-Hai was not necessarily the best team in the world, the best Korean team by a million miles, but now you have to definitively say this is the most successful Korean Overwatch team of all time. And they did it with changing flexibility. Who are you? The MVP of last season, not in the roster tonight. He's sitting on the bench. Eska playing the Sombra. The Season 2 finals they won was a different team than today, not because of just the player swaps with Guido and Who Are You, but because the identity has changed.
And Lunatic-Hai as an org will continue evolving under the beautiful lights of the Lotte World Tower. Consider, like you say, they now have a secondary roster. They've changed their identity. They've rolled with the times. The organization deserves so much credit as well, because this dynasty, it already includes 2 out of the first 3 titles. Of course, Team EnVyUs won't be joining us for Season 4. The only champions of Korean Overwatch in Apex will be Lunatic-Hai.
And who can dethrone them? KongDoo, combining members from Uncia and Panthera, able to make it this far, but still fall short. And you can see the members ecstatic as they run out onto the stage. The crowd erupting around them as they lift the trophy here.
Guido, finally a champion. He has his first championship title. He joined the roster as a flex in the beginning. He choked. People called him the weak point of the roster, but tonight he stepped it up. His tracer play was really good. He deserves the feels of emotion here as the crowd screams and cheers as they will grab the trophy off the pedestal. He's now, along with his teammates, an Apex champion.
I mean, we heard from him in one of our videos, one of our intermission videos, saying like, please, coach, make me full-time. And goddamn it, Guido, I think you might have just earned it for yourself. So he sheds some tears and he lifts the trophy. The newest member, now a champion.
They shed their shoes, they shed their tears, but they also shed the shackles of having to back up their first championship with another. It took 7 games, but they are the deserved champions. and every other team in the world watches on and wonders, what will it take to finally put down Lunatic-Hai?
And I just don't know if there's an answer right now. Panthera put up the biggest fight we've ever seen in the closest series, the most competitive. Sure, last season went to Game 7, but it was a shutout in the end. This one, every single game a close one. So even though Panthera in their first final don't walk away as champions, I think lessons have learned and the team has grown.
Even if you're 90% good as the champion, sadly that means you are the runners-up. KongDoo Panthera did evolve so extensively over the course of Season 3, and yet, at the last, were found once.
Heartbreaking for KongDoo Panthera. We'll see how they bounce back and get ready for Season 4, but for now, it's nothing but celebration for the members of Lunatic-Hai.
Every player will lift a trophy, not just one, not just the emotional Guido, but even Toby has his chance to lift it. So much great plays from all players tonight. No one shining necessarily specifically above all else. The team has evolved. They look to be an insanely strong six-man roster. It's been a great season of Apex here. My first as commentator along with you guys, and it's been a great one.
Yeah, I mean, filling the shoes of Monty and Goa was a bit of an arduous task for us here at OGN, at Apex. We hope that you guys enjoyed the ride here for Season 3. One of the best conclusions I think we ever could have had, and I couldn't think of two better casters to have alongside me for this final.
Just like Lunatic-Hai, we'll have to continue to evolve, so thank you for all the feedback. Please do keep giving it on Reddit, on Twitter, wherever you most frequent. We'll try to evolve because this league is something special, and I can't wait to see it all start again in just a few weeks' time.
Yeah, it certainly is. Even though we won't have the international tournaments joining us for Season 4, I think that we've kind of solidified that Apex will be one of the most competitive tournaments running around the world at any given time. And things will be continuing in Season 4, like you said, in just a few weeks' time. We'll be ready to kick things off. I cannot wait. I'm sure Atlas as well, watching from the audience, cannot wait to dive back in. It's been an absolutely spectacular run for us at OGN. We hope that you guys enjoy the ride as much as we did. But Lunatic-Hai, reveling and basking in the glory, lift the trophy a few more times here for the screaming audience. But they have to get ready for the awards ceremony to be properly crowned the victors here of Season 3. We're going to be throwing over to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have G-Clef to go ahead and walk you guys through with the translation through that awards ceremony. So thank you so much for joining.